So today's topic is design challenges, optimizing the design metrics. Okay. So the best so what do you mean by design challenges? Okay, so the topic is if I have to design any embedded system. Right now, in last lecture we have seen different applications of embedded systems. Now let I have to design one of the embedded systems. So what are the different challenges I have to face? Okay. So what challenges you will see? Okay, let take any example. Let you have to design any embedded system, or rather than let you have to design your own project. Okay. So what are the difficulties you will face? Okay, let me know. You have to design your final year project, as this is nothing but the embedded systems. Okay. So what are the different challenges you will see? Anybody? What are the challenges? So in this lecture we have to see what are the different challenges while designing an embedded system, because this is very important. You can design any product or project, but you should know first the design challenges, okay, because there are constraints. While designing any systems, there are constraints. Okay, so here the obvious design goal is to construct an implementation with desired functionality. You have to construct your embedded system, but with a desired functionality. So the main challenge here is simultaneously optimize numerous design metrics. Okay. So first of all, we will see what is a design metrics. So design metric is nothing but a measurable feature of a system implementation. Okay. So optimizing design metrics is a key challenge. So we'll see one by one. So what are the different design challenges, okay, are there while designing an embedded systems? So some of the common design challenges or common design metrics are given here. So first design challenge is the unit cost. Okay. So what is unit cost? Okay. So there are two different costs. One is called as a unit cost, and another is called as a NRE cost. Okay. So try to get the definition of this NRE. So NRE cost is called as a non-recurring engineering cost. Okay. So what is the meaning of this? So the meaning of this is non-recurring. So what do you mean by non-recurring? Anybody? What do you mean by non-recurring? Anybody? What do you mean by non-recurring? Okay, first of all, what is recurring? Recurring means I can recover this cost. Okay. Recurring means you can recover this cost. Okay. Non-recurring means you cannot recover this cost. Okay. So the first definition or first common metric is called as a NRE cost. So NRE cost is defined as the one-time monetary cost of designing the system. Okay. So what do you mean by the one-time monetary? Okay, actually that is what the one-time monetary cost of designing the system. So before you actually produce the system, you have to design the system. Something like you have to design your system by using some softwares. Okay, some Proteus, or you have the multi-sim likewise. So how much cost will be there while designing your embedded system? Okay, so that is called as a NRE cost. So NRE cost is nothing but simply the design cost of your embedded system. Getting? And you are designing your embedded system only one time, or whether you are designing multiple times. No, you are modifying the system multiple times, but you are designing the system only single time. That's why NRE cost is called as a one-time monetary cost of designing the system. Okay, so just remember this one. So designing cost is called as a NRE cost. So another definition is called as a unit cost. So what is unit cost? So this is called as the monetary cost of manufacturing each copy of the system, excluding NRE cost. Getting? So unit cost is nothing but the manufacturing cost of the embedded system. If you want to manufacture any embedded system, so how much cost is there for manufacturing that particular product? Okay, so that cost is called as a unit cost. And here you have to exclude the NRE cost. That means don't add the design cost into the manufacturing, because manufacturing cost is different. Okay, and NRE cost is different. So NRE cost is simply, there are some people that are joining. Okay, so that's why I have kept the thought of the day. Okay, okay, are you getting NRE cost? So NRE cost is one-time monetary cost of designing the embedded system. What is unit cost? Unit cost is nothing but the cost of manufacturing each copy of the embedded system, excluding the NRE cost. It's don't add your design cost into the unit cost. Unit cost is just only the manufacturing cost of the embedded system. Now, third common metric is called as a size. Okay, so what is size? It is simply called as the physical space required by the system. Okay, so I have a simple questions. How you will measure the size of the system? Okay, so there are two parts of your embedded system. One is a hardware and second is a software. Okay, so how you will measure the size of your software? Okay, how to measure size of software? Okay, what is the measure of size of software? How will you measure the size of software? Anybody? Measuring the, okay, Abhishek has given the answer. Measuring the line of code. Okay, so that's really, it's a crude way of measuring the size. Okay, this is something like that you have to measure the size of your house, and you are using something like rather than square foot or meter, you are using another measure. Okay, so you have to be specific. Okay, already you are using that one. Okay, what is the measure of, or how to measure a size of software? Now, how to measure the size of your program? Now that this is what the simple oral question. The question is, what is the size of your program? Okay, how will you measure the size of your program? And this is very easy. It's a common sense only. Yes, Gaurav Kumbhar, he is actually really very much close to the answer. Memory required. Okay, my next question is how to measure the memory? How to measure the memory? How to measure the memories? There are remaining peoples. There are remaining peoples. Memories. Okay, memory required. But how to measure the software? In bytes, kilobytes, megabytes, gigabytes. Okay, very good. Kumbar has given the answer in megabyte. Okay, that is in terms of bytes, kilobytes, megabytes. Okay, this is how to measure the memory. Now, how you measure the size of your hardware? Hello, how will you measure the size of your hardware? Let's say these are the simple questions. Okay, as per the size of PCB. Okay, Gaurav says as per the size of PCB. Again, you are close to the answer, not the correct answer. The correct answer is the number of components or number of called as a transistors available on the system, okay, on the PCB. So this is how to measure the size of your hardware. Getting. So third parameter is size. So that is also the design, one of the design challenge. That is how to reduce the size of your embedded system. Now fourth common metrics is called as performance. Okay. So how can you define the performance? Again, simple definitions. Anybody? Define the performance. How will measure the performance? So that is first define the performance, and second, how to measure the performance. Any guess? What is performance first of all? So performance means the execution time or throughput of the system. Okay, that means if I assign some task to the embedded systems, so how much time is required to execute that task? Okay. Okay, if it gives quick response, okay, that is correct. That is called as a performance. So that is what execution time. Okay, quick response means how much time is required to execute the given task. Or another way is a throughput. I think you have gone through the definition of throughput. What is the definition of throughput? In system, CISPRO, you have, I think, gone through the definition of throughput. What is throughput? Throughput. What is throughput? Throughput is nothing but the number of tasks executed per seconds. Getting? So this is called as a throughput. Now just it's very simple. Now I can measure the performance. That is how much time is required to execute a given task by the embedded systems. Now this is one way to measure the performance. Second way, that is how many tasks he has performed, okay, within 1 second. So this is my another performance criteria. So this is how I can measure the performance. Simple. Okay. So you put the time, okay, time tags, and you can measure the time required to execute an embedded system. Okay. So this is what the performance. So next parameter or design challenge is a power. Okay. So just say most of the embedded systems are okay. I got the answer. What is flexibility? Okay, I will come to the point. Okay, next. Power, the amount of power consumed by the system. Okay. So the next point is a power. So most of the system or embedded system that will perform the its task. Okay, and they are operating on the batteries only. So now how to reduce the power, that is also one of the challenging area. So the amount of power consumed by the system is called as a power. So our challenge is how to consume a minimum power, okay, by the embedded system. Now why we have to consume minimum power? Because the embedded systems are not working on the power supply, rather than they are working on the battery, and battery life is again limited. So you have to consume a very less power to execute a given task. Okay, so this is also one of the challenge. Now I will come to the last point, that is asked by the Harshada. That is what is flexibility. Okay, so actually it's a general term. Okay, flexibility means I am ready. You should be flexible. Okay, whether you want to go to the class, or whether you want to go to in another activity for let's sports. So you are flexible. Okay, so that is what flexibility. Now in terms of embedded system, what is the flexibility? So flexibility means the ability to change the functionality of the system without incurring heavy NRE cost. Okay, so flexibility means very simple words. Let I have a simple board of microcontroller, okay, 8051. Okay, now flexibility means that without changing the hardware, okay, I should be able to execute another task also. Okay, that means if I change the software program, I can run the program for LCD display, or also I can run a program for LED blinking also, or GSM, GPS. Okay, now this is what called as a flexibility, and flexibility comes through the softwares only. Okay, now you cannot change the hardware of your system, you can change only the software. The same case is with the our mobile phones or our desktop system also. Okay, so if you have seen that is I don't know, but maybe if you have observed, you are going to upgrade your mobiles. Okay, that is, you are upgrading the software of your mobile. Now what is this? This is nothing but the flexibility. Okay, that means without changing any hardware or major part of your mobile, you are able to upgrade your mobile, okay, to the different application or different features. That is called as the flexibility. Okay, are you getting flexibility? Okay, so flexibility means, very simple terms, that is embedded system should get upgraded without change in the hardware. Okay, so if I am not going to change the hardware, there is no any NRE cost. What is the NRE cost? It's a one-time design cost. So I'm not going to design or adding any hardware components into the embedded system. I'm just going to change only the softwares. Okay, so this way I can upgrade my systems, and this is what called as a flexibility. Otherwise, let us see, if your embedded system is not able to, or it is not a flexible, that means you are not able to upgrade your embedded systems. What will happen? You have to change the all hardware and as well as all software also. Okay, so you have to directly replace the system. That means, so that is not the good option. So rather than, you make your hardware permanent and you upgrade your software. Okay, so this gives you the flexibility. Okay, I think these points are clear. Very important terms are there, that is called as time to prototype. Okay, time to prototype. Okay, so what is prototype? You have heard this word many times. Prototype. I don't know, but you have heard, or even you have seen the different prototype models, okay, of any product, okay, or you have seen the prototype model of buildings, okay, or towns, okay, or cities. So that is called as a prototype. Okay, it's a one kind of representative model of the original system. So next design challenge is a time to prototype. Okay, so what is the time to prototype? So it is the time needed to build a working version of the system. Are you getting? Time to prototype means how much time is required to launch your product prototype. Okay, that is the actual version of your embedded system into the market. Okay, so this is also one of the design challenge. Okay, are you getting or not? Now this is in terms of market. Now whatever the parameter we have seen in the previous slides, okay, and that are not directly concerned with the market. Now this time to market and time to prototype, these 2 points are directly related with the market. Okay, why we are talking about market? We'll see. Are you getting this? Time to prototype. So time needed to build a working version of the system is called as a time to prototype. Now another design challenge is time to market. Okay, time to market means how much time, this it's very simple, how much time is required to launch your product into the market. Okay, so in again specific way I can say that the time required to develop a system to the point that it can be released and sold to customers. Okay, are you getting the difference between time to prototype and time to market? Time to prototype says that I have to, how much time is needed to build a working version of the system. Means I have built the working version of the system. Okay, so that is how much time is required to build that working version of the your embedded system. So that is called as time to prototype. However, time to market is nothing but the total time actually. That is how much time is required to develop the working model of the system, okay, to the point that it can be released, okay, and sold to the customer. Okay, that means if I build the working model of the system, that means I'm not going to directly launch my product into the market. Okay, so before launching the product, I have to test the my embedded system, whether it is working satisfactorily or not. Okay. So again, for testing also it requires some weeks or months. Getting that I have required 1 month to design the working model of the system. Then again 1 month I will require to test the embedded system. And after these 2 months, now my product is ready and I can release into the market. Okay, and I can sold to the customer. So these are the uh, different points or different sectors. Okay, into which you have to consume the time. So time to market is nothing but the sum of all these particular points. That is the designing the working model, then testing it, and then launching into the market. Okay, so this is what the addition of different time required to launch your product into the market. Now, these 2 points are very important regarding the uh, employer, okay, or the industry, okay, because if I have a company, I will try to launch my product early in the market. Why I will launch my product early in the market? Because if I launch it as early as possible, I will get a maximum revenue. I will get less competition, okay, and I will get the maximum revenue, okay, from my embedded system or my product. Okay. So now that is what the advantage. If I launch my product, okay, within a very minimum time. The next point, a design challenge is maintainability. Okay, so what do you mean by maintainability? Okay, that means now if I sell my embedded product to somebody, my product should be maintainable by that owner itself. Okay, otherwise what happen, every time I have to call the employer, okay, for the service. Okay, so whether your embedded system is maintainable by the purchaser, okay, that means who the person who have purchased your embedded system, he should be able to maintain that system, okay, irrespective of the seller. Okay, so this is called as the ability to modify the system after its initial release. Okay, that means I have sell the system to somebody. Now the the person who has purchased the embedded system, he should be able to modify the system parameter. Okay, for example, let you have the AC. Okay, now initially they will set the AC at a different temperature. Okay, but now if you want to change the temperature, you can do it by using the remote. Now this is what the ability to modify the system. That means now I make my system or I have modified my system to the whatever the needs, current needs of my system. So that is called as a maintenance. Next parameter is a correctness. Okay, so now it's okay. I have designed the product, I have tested the product, I have sold the product, okay, to the market. Now, what is the guarantee of your embedded system that it will behave correctly? Okay, so can you give the guarantee? Yes, you have to give the guarantee everywhere. Even if you purchase the mobile phone, okay, or any other product, you want a guarantee with this warranty. Okay, so correctness says that what is the guarantee of the product to function it correctly in each and every circumstances. Okay, so whether you are able to design such an embedded product which will gives you the correct behavior or correct output each and every time and in different circumstances. Okay, just see why this is important. This is very important point when you work in the industry. Let I will give the example. Let you have designed some embedded system, okay, and you have installed this embedded system in a industry. Okay, so those who have gone to the industry or in company, okay. Now there are different mechanical machines. Now those mechanical machines will vibrate at very high speed, and those vibration will cause the failure of your embedded system. For example, if I put my embedded system over that machine, okay, because of that vibration, it will generate the spike. Okay, now since our embedded systems are working on a oscillators, okay, that is on the clock, so that vibration just goes or it will form one kind of noise, and that noise will get over the clock pulses. Okay, and because of this random noise, your system will get reset. Are you getting? Your system will get reset every time it will produce a high vibrations, because those vibrations are converted in terms of noise, and that noise get override on the clock pulses of your system. That is whatever we have seen, we put the crystal into the microcontroller, okay, which will generate the uh, clock pulses. Now those clock pulses get affected by the noise if you have studied in digital system. Okay, so because of that noise, the system get reset. Your microcontroller does not know how to deal with such a kind of signal, so it will automatically reset itself. Getting? That means your system will not behave correctly in these circumstances. So you have to find out the solution. What is the solution? So solution is there that you have to provide some filters. Okay, you have to put some filters into the microcontroller so that whenever such a kind of noise generated, it will get bypassed to the ground. Getting? So this is what the solution. Okay, for this you should know what's the problem. So there is no guarantee that actually that it will behave correctly. Okay, so you have to monitor the environment. Okay, you have to test your product into that environment first. If there are some problems, then you have to sort out those problems. Okay, and only after that your system will be correct. Getting? So this is called as a correctness of your embedded system. Now very important point or challenge is the safety. Okay, that is whatever the embedded system you have designed, whether that embedded system is safe, okay, to handle. Okay, so again you have to give the guarantee. Now for example, you have read and different cases of explosion of the mobile. Okay, are you getting? Many times whatever that Vivo and whatever the other Chinese mobile phones, okay, that get exploded. Okay, and because of there are different accidents. So whether your embedded system is safe. Okay, so that is also one of the design challenge. Your embedded system should be safe. So how to make it safe? So there are different parameters. Okay, now there is one more parameter that is very important. Okay, when we say in terms of safety, that is nothing but the radiation. Okay, uh, we might have not noticed the radiation. I think in this semester you have the RMT subject, huh? Whether it is in last semester, RMT subject, whether it is in this semester or in the last semester. So radiation of the mobile phones, if you observe, so it is tested against. Uh, you have heard the term EMI and EMC. Have you heard the term EMI and EMC? So these are called as the test. So mobile always goes through this test called as the EMI and EMC. These are nothing but the radiation test. Okay. So many times you have read also in the articles that do not put your mobile phones. Okay. While sleeping, keep it aside. Okay, or keep it on flight mode. So that is the safety instruction that are given, but still we are using mobile phones. Okay, so radiation is one of the criteria that we have to see in terms of safety. Okay, uh, and if you observe right now, there is a right now we are using 4G. Okay, now what is the next? Next is 5G. What is 5G? What is 5G? G for G for G for okay, it's okay. It's a generation. Okay, it's genius also. Okay, but for it's a 4G, so it's a generation. So 5G. So I will ask you a simple question. What is the difference between 4G and 5G? Okay. Some of the active participants have given the answers. Okay, I'm observing speed. Okay, yes, that is also speed. Speed is the main difference between the 4G and 5G. So 5G is faster than 4G. Okay, okay, frequency bandwidth also. Okay, but what is the problem with 5G? If you observe, 5G will give you the uh, more range. Okay, that is distance. That means if you put the tower in Maligaon, it will cover more distance. Are you getting? Compared to the 5G. 5G is so. The reason is very simple, because in 5G it will consume more power. Okay, so consuming more power means it will radiate more power. Just see what is the disadvantage of 5G. It is not good. Okay, whatever I have the knowledge. So 5G having the problems actually. So 5G will give you higher radiations compared to 4G. So even though we are getting a high speed, everything is very fine, but we have to deal with the problem of radiation. Okay, so it will emit very large radiation. Just see, it's a very simple fundamental. That is, uh, if you have to cover more distance, you require more power. Okay, so to more power means it will consume more power. So more power means more radiations. Okay, so radiations are not good to the health of humans also. Okay, so this is what the design challenge is. While designing any embedded system or technology, that should be safe. Okay, to the humans and that is other animals also. So these are the different parameters, okay, that we have to take care while designing any embedded system. Okay, so what are the design challenges? Let I have to design any embedded system. So my challenge is how to design a embedded systems, okay, with a unit cost, okay, whose unit cost will be low. Okay, so I will purchase the product whose unit cost will be low. Okay, next, how to reduce the NRE cost of your product. Okay, that means I have to invest very less money to design the embedded product. Next challenge is size of the embedded system. Okay, so how to make your embedded system small, that is the challenge. Then performance, how to execute more number of tasks within a very less time. So that is the performance challenge. Power challenge, how I will reduce the consumption of my power since my embedded systems are working on the battery. And flexibility, that is uh, how to make my system flexible. Otherwise, I have to change my hardware. Okay, so which is not a good option. It is very costlier then. Next uh, challenge is time to prototype. Okay, so my next challenge is uh, I have to reduce my time of designing a working version of my system. Okay, and very important design challenge is the time to market. Okay, so I have to reduce the time of designing the product, okay, testing the product, okay, and then launching into the market. Next is maintainability, how to maintain the product by the owner itself. So your system should be correct under different circumstances and it should be safe to everyone. Okay, so these are the different design challenges you have to face. Now, what is the main design challenge? The main design challenge is I have seen here. Okay, unit cost, NRE, size, performance, power, flexibility, time to market, time to prototype, maintainability. So there are different design metrics, but the main challenge is how to optimize these all design metrics. Okay, that means I cannot satisfy all the design metrics to my system. Okay, this is what the challenge. Okay, that means how I can get a optimized view of all these design metrics. That means how I can able to satisfy all these design metrics in my embedded system. So this is what the title. The design challenge is nothing but optimizing these different design metrics into your embedded systems. Means how I can apply all these design metrics optimally to my embedded systems. Okay. So here is a one example. Okay, that is called as design metric competition. Okay, it says that improving one may worsen others. Okay, now let us see. This is what the one field. Okay, and it having different pins. Let's see. These are the different pins. That is size, power, performance, and NR. Okay, that this is analogous to some field, and it having 4 pins: size, power, performance, and NRE. So it says that if I try to reduce the size of my embedded system or product, just see, this is an inward arrow. So if I try to punch this particular pin into the field, the remaining pins are pop out. Okay, that are came out. That means pop out means if I press this pin into this particular field, the other pins will pop out. That means if I try to reduce the size of my embedded system, the power consumption increases, the performance degraded, and NRE cost also increases. Getting? This is called as improving one may worsen other. That means if you try to improve the size of the system, okay, it will worse make your power, it will increase the power, it will degrade the performance, and it will increase the NRE cost. Now this is what the main design challenge of designing any embedded product. Just say any embedded product. You design anything, you have to face these design challenges. Okay. So that's why this is called as design metric competition. Here, improving one may worsen others. Now let I have to reduce the NRE cost. So if I try to reduce the NRE cost, so I will punch this pin into the field. So all other pins will pop out. That means if I try to reduce the NRE cost, the size increases, power increases, system performance degrades. Okay. The same case with performance. If I try to improve the performance, NRE cost increases, size increases, power increases. Okay. Or if I try to improve the performance of power, the other pins will pop out. Okay. So now this is the main design challenge. Okay. Now let us see. Once we have the problem, we should have the solutions. Okay. So what is the solution? So solution is this one. That is, try to expertise with both software and hardware, okay, which is needed to optimize the design. Okay. So most of the time what happens, the students are either expert with the software or expert with the hardware. Okay, but in the current scenario, this is not sufficient. Okay, so it is expected that the student should be expertise both in software and hardware. Okay, if you want to optimize your design metrics, otherwise it is not possible. That means, for example, that I will design the software and someone will design the hardware. So both of us not able to satisfy all the design metrics. Okay, so that is the problem. So I have to be the expertise of software and hardware itself, so that I can satisfy all the design metrics. Getting? So what is the conclusion? The conclusion is that not just a hardware or software expert expected is as common. Okay, so designer must be compatible with various technologies in order to choose the best for a given application and constraints. Okay, that means the designer must have the knowledge of all the platforms like 8051 PIC, then ARM7, ARM9, then Arduino, then Raspberry Pi. Okay, so all these platforms should be known by the designer, and out of that, one platform he has to select. Okay, depending upon the design metrics. Okay, and only then he is able to optimize all the design metrics. So that is what the need of the current market. That means you should have the both the expertise, that is hardware as well as software. So this is what's shown with the simple example of digital camera. Okay, so here you have the different hardware blocks: A2D, CCD, pixel, okay, display, LCD, okay, and you have the software part. What is the software part? Is a microcontroller. Okay, that means the designer should know the all hardware, and also he should know the software also, how to program the microcontroller. So this is what the need of the current time. You should have the good knowledge of hardware. Okay, that's why called as a basic. So your basic should be firm, and your logic should also the good. So both things can be used to optimize your embedded system. Okay, so try to make your basic as much as good, and try to develop your software logic. If you are able to do both, okay, so you have good chance in the companies also. So this is all about the today's lectures. Okay. In next lecture, we will discuss the most important design metrics. What is the time to market? Okay, means how it is important to launch your product on time in the market. And if you are not able to launch your product into the market, what are the disadvantages or drawbacks of this one? Okay, so this we will see in the next lecture. I think this is okay. Is there any problem with this? Give me some feedback. Okay. Okay, the summary of this lecture is simply that is what are the different design metrics, its definition, okay, and the main challenge is how to optimize all these design metrics to your embedded systems, okay, and how to solve the problem of optimizing this. Okay, so how to solve this problem by expertising on both hardware as well as software. Getting? So now it's 11 o'clock. Okay, so we'll stop here. If you have any problems, so let me know. Is it fine? There is a announcement actually. Yesterday I have sent some attendance, okay, that is using Google Forms on your emails. Okay, so try to fill it. Okay, so I have sent the attendance sheet for 3 or 4 lectures. Okay, previous 4 lectures. So I will post the today's also attendance sheet on your email. Is it fine? Fill Google Forms. Okay, so I have required this maybe to submit to the department. Okay, send to email. Okay, is it okay? Just give some response, be reactive, be crazy. Okay, do something. Okay, so this is all about the lecture. Okay, try to fill all the attendance. Okay, I will require this for the departmental purpose. Okay. In the yesterday's attendance sheet, I have given some questions also. Okay, so try to answer these questions. That will help you to again revise the topic that we have seen in the lecture. Okay, I think it's over there.